am a black person from Brazil, but I also am a person that comes from the outskirts of the city, you know? And the media that got me when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, was popular media, like telenovelas and movies and theater and samba and like the most popular music genres in Brazil. All these cultural influences I've had and I still have in my life, they are my material, you know? So I love to give back to them. Hi, I'm Yhuri Cruz. I'm a visual artist and playwright from Brazil. I'm based in Rio de Janeiro. As a playwright and as a visual artist, I like to mix performance and sculpture and drawings, but I'm really into narrative. So I would say that I'm a storyteller. Over the last 7 years, I've been very focused on my works called the Emancipation Plays. In Portuguese would be Cenas Pretofágicas. They are stories that I write. They're usually stories based on historical facts or political situations that I use them as resources for writing fiction. So I'm very much into historical fiction. So that story, for example, João and Adriano, it's a fotonovela inspired by a very important Brazilian novel. There are more than 400 characters in that novel. It's crazy. And there are these two characters that I fell in love with, João and Adriano, which are black men escaping from their slave owners back in the days. And the author, she was super quick on their stories, you know, but I fell in love with them. So I said, you know, I'm just gonna appropriate these two characters and create a spin-off of those two characters. I feel like a good fiction should be engaged by many people. And that actually makes a difference when, it makes a difference for a fiction to become or to affect and to impact reality. Afro-Brazilian stories, they matter a lot, but they matter as a source, not only as something itself. So as a source, I try to reimagine them and creating new characters inspired, new colors inspired, new dramas inspired by these old dramas too, you know? It's something that we've been doing as humanity all the time. And I feel like Afro-Brazilian or African descent culture is always very frozen into mythology. No, it's not. It's just another source of good fiction. So why not applying all this source material, all this source of culture genius into the present? So I'm very interested into the idea of a stage. The stage as an ideal, the stage as a concept for enactment. I have this series of drawings that I do endlessly, there are more than 100 of it, of these black, brown people on stage, staging very crazy situations. And to me, they feel like rehearsals for future plays, you know? I'm always rehearsing the future play through drawing. So these young, new curators, it's their first show, they made this show called Querela, all with queer artists. And they invited me to do something short and sweet. The performance is called Way Beyond the Code. It's a poem about a couple of friends, or a love couple, I don't know. And they are up in the hills, in the mountains, and they are reflecting on all the punitivism and penalty and violence that is under the hill. The work is very simple. It's a staircase, all with a collage of Brazilian penal codes. And these two performers, Almeida da Silva and Aziz Cipriano, these two performances, they go up the stairs as if they are up in the hills, and they are just living a serene and calm life. And then eventually, out of nowhere, you hear some war sounds, because even though they are beyond that, the traces of it reach them, and they're reading about what's happening. So they're reading this book called Necropolitics by this writer called Achille Mbembe. And they're just living their lives as if they are aware of what's going on, but this awareness doesn't stop them from being serene, which is a fight, you know, it's always a fight to keep serenity.